First of all, I believe it should be some kind of an aid. The amount, Secretary Dominguez is best to determine that amount. I don't believe in increasing the wages at this point in time because we don't know what is really going to happen. You can see the volatility of oil move up and then all of a sudden crash down. So while it's volatile, I don't think we should peg wage increases at this point. Now, subsidies, yes, but I think the government should decide on what kind of subsidies they will give these workers, no, for the time being, especially those in the transport sector.
Mm-hmm. However, sir, for NCR alone, for example, minimum wage is already at 537 pesos. Do you find this to still be adequate for workers here in Metro Manila?
Well, I think that's a separate matter, no? I mean, maybe it needs some review, but we have to look at the basis of that. Because if we're going to base it on the conflict in Ukraine and Russia, which is pushing up prices, this might be temporary. I mean, especially if it's triggered by oil. Of course, we have other commodities that have gone up, but we don't know because it can also go down once there is a possibility that this conflict will be short-lived. So we need time. Now, yes, in the meantime, I think some form of temporary support can be discussed. And if the government, it seems, cannot reduce or eliminate the excise tax because, as you know, as they need the money because of all their projects in the past, and their build, and of course, the loans that we incurred in this pandemic. So Philippines Inc., which is our country, has to have enough revenues to sustain this. But nevertheless, I think Secretary Bello will discuss this with the private sector. But my position here, and I think most of the businessmen are, is we should not just implement the wage increase. We should study it. Let's determine the direction of this situation is going. Yes, it is still volatile, but the fluctuation of of oil is really up and down. No? So we might. I think the idea of supporting the workers through some kind of financial support is much better because while during this crisis, that support can take place, but when the crisis is over, then it can be withdrawn. While salaries, you can't withdraw it anymore. Now we have our annual CBAs, so we have our normal CBAs that take care of these wage increases. No?
Now, talking about subsidies, sir, just want to get your comment on this. You have the government approving a 200 peso per month subsidy for the poorest of the poor. How far is that going to go, sir?
Well, it's something. I think it's a good start. 200 a month, so that's about you're looking at about 2,000 something a year. Then again, I think what the government is trying to do is calibrate everything, determine where is this going to be, and it's not for me to say is it enough or not. No, I mean, on top of that, if they are employed, they will be getting their usual salaries. No? So, and we hope that the economy will really kick in, and you don't want to put more pressure on the MSMEs, no, because these guys employ 60% of the country's labor force, no. So they're just basically recovering from this pandemic, and their cash flows are improving, and not all of them have really rebounded totally, but it is progressing. So if you push too much on them, all of this wage increase and many other issues, then they might have a difficult time recovering. And worst part is that rather than we employ more people, the job generation is very important, especially in this time. And I think we can do it. We really have to ensure that the MSMEs who employ 62% can really afford to hire more people. And that's what we want to see. We want to see growth in the country. We don't want to see a recession because of all of these inflationary increases.